one.
Jeezy Sports, tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian and Randy Savage. Me talk about Jeezy Sports, tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian and Randy Savage. Me talk about Jeezy Sports. Yeah, check out the station.
From the FA Cup final, Wembley to Spain with Benzema to Kingston with the Racers Grand Prix. It's Jeezy Sports again. I'm Jackson Bryan. Welcome again this evening, another episode. Sav couldn't make it this evening. Personal things, you know how it goes. So it's just me this evening. Yesterday I had a really busy day, and plus there was a lot of rain, so was really hard for us to do a show. I had previous engagements also, and you know it was just a hectic day. You know, up early in the morning, can't sleep. United with the FA Cup final. The engagements passed through afterwards, and then it was all of a sudden it was Sunday. But you know, we're again still discussing the latest in the sports world. As the first thing is a new, a little twist. You know, Sav's the actual one who sent this over. The Racers Grand Prix. That is the athletic competition going on in Kingston, Jamaica at the moment. Some big names there. I mean, I watched a 100-meter race last night. It had, and I'm not discrediting the athletes, but it had Tia Clayton, Ramona Burchell, Brianna Williams, and I just wondered to myself why there's so many C-list celebrities. I mean, where were the big guns? And then afterwards, you know, there was a real race with the females. You know, Sherika Jackson. With the men, with Christian Coleman, and then the 200s when you see the outstanding Noah Lyles as well. So, you know, man, then it started to pick up. Noah Lyles, I have to say, really good athlete. Wade Van Niekerk was there as well, and there's something that some people have to make note of. But on our track here in Kingston, we don't really see fast times. I mean, Christian Coleman is currently on pace as a 9.8 runner. He couldn't even break 10 seconds last night. Noah Lyles, we all know, can run 19.3, 19.4. He ran 19.6 last night, closer to 19.7. And Van Niekerk, we know he's the world record holder. Yes, he's coming back from injury, but 44.2. That's not a Van Niekerk type time. You know, it's really hard, especially if it's your first time racing here. It's gonna be a hard toll on your body. But some good competition out there so far. The discus as well, field events don't look too bad. I must say, to touch on that is it's just the lack of publicity, because if I wasn't as indulged in sports as I normally am, I would have no idea it was gonna be this weekend. Because the marketing, I mean, I remember when it was Bolt's last time here, everybody knew. I mean, everybody knew for months. Now, there are more people who know about Krispy Kreme in Jamaica than they do in the Racers Grand Prix. I mean, the stadium was almost virtually empty. I know it was raining, so most people did have other plans to try and avoid the rain. We don't have roofing. We don't have the roofing, but man, it's still disappointing. But it does continue later today. I just wanted to, breeze over it for a bit. Just say, hey, Racers Grand Prix is going on. Athletics. Noah Lyles is here. Van Niekerk is here. Some big hitters. I mean, none of the big Jamaicans are there. That's the problem. There's no Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. There's no Elaine Thompson. There's no Oblique Seville. No Johan Blake. No Akeem Blake. No Hansel Parchment. So it's basically Jamaica's C team. With some good names from abroad. And it's disgusting, because athletics fans, they don't deserve this. They do not deserve this. But, enough athletics talk. Not really an athletics person will pick that up when it's the World Championships later this year. And speak about the FA Cup final. And this is where I get absolutely pissed off. Manchester City won the FA Cup final. I mean, you have to say deservedly so because they were the team that was playing football on the day. Ilkay Gundogan, 2 volleys, left foot, right foot, bang. Heard that before. It's sad as a Man United fan. Normally, because this isn't the first time I'm going to say this, but 2 years ago, even the season before that, City had a chance at a treble. And United were saved of their legacy by Real Madrid and by Liverpool, by even Chelsea to some extent. But this was United's chance. This was Manchester United's chance to stop City on their own, to protect their own legacy. And they failed. They all failed. Marcus Rashford, I've said it on the show with Sav a lot. I will never fall for it. And you see, I still haven't. Because I know the type of player Marcus is. He can't do the work when it matters. That's just not him. Jadon Sancho, he was never a good signing. I mean, maybe Jadon could have come around good on the right wing, but I always had this thing where if he's a good player, you shouldn't be saying, well, he'd be better if he had this or that. I mean, Kane would be much better if he had somebody supplying him goals, right? He still scored 30. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to hear the thing about Sancho would be better with an attacking explosive fullback alongside him. No. Just like Maguire needs a quick centre half and a really good centre defensive midfielder in front of him to be good. No, that means he's not good. He needs players to make him good, and that's not a good player. Garnacho was the only spark. When Ale came on, I thought United had equalised. He had that one shot had Ortega scrambling. I mean, if it had even 2 millimeters of curl on it, it would have been 2-2, and we would probably be having a different discussion because, I mean, City had 5 centre-backs on the pitch at that point. I mean, hey, I don't know what Pep would have been trying to cook up, but he did not. He only had Haaland as an attacker. He didn't even have a midfield on the pitch at that point. But the players gave up. I mean, you put on Weghorst and McTominay, and, people don't like them, but they were the closest to score after that. McTominay with that chance clear off the line, Weghorst was on the post. I mean, it was a disgusting performance. I'm not taking anything away from Man City, but Manchester United didn't play like a team that knew what the trouble is about. I mean, I saw David Beckham, and the game wasn't over yet. It was about 70-75 minutes, and I saw Beckham, and you could see the anguish on his face. He just did not believe there was anything that could have been done. He felt sad. He looked sad. Because he was a part of that treble team. He knows what they went through in '99 to achieve what they did, and it will stay in history. But with recency bias, everybody's gonna just talk about Man City, and those guys will just be forgotten of '99. So, unless Inter Milan can become prime Inter under Jose Mourinho, with people Inzaghi, then it's all gone. But let's just hope Hey, I'm just hoping for a good final next week. That's it. Just hoping for a good final. I don't want a one-sided attack versus defense thing. Don't really like it. And sticking with United before, because I had a different itinerary, but sticking with United. Are they being sold? Well, I think they are. I think they're not. I have no idea. The Glazers, they've always wanted investment. However, investment means you're going to have to pay back people. And currently the club is in £1 billion of debt. Well, 900 and change. So it's going to be really hard to do that type of investment thing. Now, do they want a state to stay? I've always said I never understood how they want to stay when the fans are always chanting that they want to kill them, either hanging them or cutting their body up in millions of pieces. It is... It's really a weird topic for them. Reports out today, Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, the Qatari individual, is possibly going to make another bid. I said this to some friends earlier. Actually said it yesterday. If I was Al Thani and I saw that performance, I don't care what they say. I'd ring them up and say, "What's your price?" Because this can't continue. This manager, he's brought you to this. Manchester United have played the most games of any English team this year, domestically. And look, Pep Guardiola had the luxury of bringing on Phil Foden, who scored a hat-trick against United earlier in the season, while Ten Hag had to sub on a loanee in Weghorst and a midfielder in Scott McTominay to try and win the game. He had no attacking depth. He had a long history, but come on. You can't win games with those kids right now. They're not at the level yet. They're not Garnacho level yet. So it's really, really frustrating. Will on a bit again. Well, Forbes did come out earlier this week and put out the valuable clubs, and United and Real Madrid were the two clubs both valued at $6 billion US. So, I think they're just going to dig their heels in and get as much as they want. They're that's just how it is with the United still, Now we can move on to some other footballing matters. Karim Benzema has left Real Madrid in a turn of events. Carlo Ancelotti said after their 1-1 draw today which Benzema scored in, by the way, that Benzema told him this morning. He didn't tell him yesterday, the day before, nothing like that. He actually told him this morning, boss, I'm leaving Real Madrid. That's when the official statement came out. And he said it was a shock to him because he didn't anticipate this. And now Real Madrid are in a tough position. I know they're going to get Bellingham, and that's the reason. That's another reason for the thumbnail today. It's Bellingham. Said this months ago during the World Cup, 120 million euros Bellingham to Real Madrid would have been confirmed, and that's entirely what's going to happen. But Dortmund were never getting 150 unless Man United were in the race. But yeah, not Bellingham. We're speaking about Benzema and Real Madrid. They only have two forwards in their entire team. Mariano's gone, Benzema's gone, Asensio is gone, Hazard is gone. They only have Rodrigo and Vinicius, so they have to buy a striker. Now, who will Real Madrid sign? Harry Kane, maybe. Roberto Firmino, who's on a free, Romelu Lukaku on loan. Maybe El Toro, Lautaro Martinez. Maybe Benjamin Sesko. Who knows? Gonzalo Ramos, Dusan Vlahovic, Victor Osimhen. There are a lot of strikers out there. I could go on and on. But who will suit the Real Madrid way to go forward? Now, it's thought that Carlo Ancelotti really likes Harry Kane. Florentino Perez, he likes Kai Havertz. They might sign Havertz not just for the striker position, but, he's a very fluid player. Left, right, up front, 10. Any way you need him in the attacking sense, he'll be there. But we'll just have to wait and see with Real Madrid, because I don't think I've ever seen Real Madrid in this position where they're so lacking in squad numbers. Usually Real Madrid have so many squad players fighting for positions. They even have twice the amount of fringe players, so they're never out. But right now it's really hard. In the midfield, they're absolutely stacked because they're keeping Ceballos. In the defense, they're keeping Nacho. They may add one more centre half. Possibly a left back if Ferland Mendy does go. They are open to selling him. They are getting Fran Garcia, but it's just gonna be Fran Garcia if anything. And they do need a right back. Now Hakimi has been rumoured to wanting to come back to Real Madrid. Price is rumoured to be between 40 and 60 million euros. So we don't know if that deal is going to happen yet. PSG are having a clear out at the moment. Messi's gone, Ramos is gone, Hakimi wants to go, Verratti is on his way out. They're probably going to have to do a rebuild in Paris as well. But, and so just some breaking news that Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the god, the greatest, the lion among humans, has retired from football. I did not expect this right now. I did not see that. He is, and you've got to say, one of the greatest players of this history. And the only thing he ended up missing was the Champions League title. Everything else domestically he did get a chance at. When he went to United, the only thing he didn't win was the Premier League title. He was on the Europa League team. He did win that. He won the FA Cup. He won the Carabao Cup. I mean, he did it all. He won the